right, hello everyone. Welcome to another episode of Damage Control. This is Mookie, and I'm joined here again with another episode with Darth Beaver. And we're going to go ahead and kind of just break down like we normally do on our Sundays here, talking about the latest events that's been going on with Marvel Strike Force, what's coming up on, coming week based off the blog post that was released on Friday. And it feels funny because I keep wanting to say good morning in my mind as I'm kind of going into their intro, but this is the evening edition as we just kind of recap our, kind of winding down on our Sunday here, and I'm already talking about Sunday football. So hopefully you all have enjoyed your Sundays, your weekend, and get ready for this next coming week. All right, well, with all being said, let's introduce Darth. How are you doing, Darth?
Good evening.
Okay, there you are. Good evening, buddy. All right, kind of peeking at the computer here. Pause this stuff. All right, Darth. So what I wanted to do, I don't know, I'm sorry, I just want to talk about football real quick with you. So, because I just happened to see this across my phone, but did you see that injury from Lance? Trey Lance?
Yeah, my wife is a 49er fan. We were actually watching on Red Zone when it happened. We did see the Trey Lance injury.
Okay. I mean, it was nasty. It kind of reminded me of Dak a little bit because I remember seeing his foot go sideways. But obviously I want to see the injury, but this is why I'm curious, because I think you did mention before, and that's why it's in my mind all of a sudden about the 49ers, because I have a lot of 49er friends, so I kind of remember that now, thinking back. It is a bittersweet. Was she rooting for Trey Lance to be the starting quarterback, or are y'all ready for? She's a Jimmy G fan.
She loves Jimmy G. He's adorable.
Of course, all the ladies do, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. He's cute. I heard that today as he took the field. He's so cute. That's exactly what she said to me. But I'll tell you what I told her, man. I think the 49ers are in better shape than they were when they started Sunday. I think Jimmy G brought them to the pinnacle and didn't quite make it last year, and has more potential to do so again than a young quarterback.
Yeah, I know.
I think that he was good enough to not need to be replaced, I thought. So I think that if any team was going to take a hit to their starting quarterback like that and be able to survive it, I think the 49ers were the one team that could.
Absolutely. Yeah, because me, being the Dallas side, we thought we were hearing some rumors that we were going to make trades for him, and that's all out the window now. So, yeah, that's definitely out the window. But I'm with you. I think even the 49er fans that I have here, I think they had more trust. Basically, the team they have is in Jimmy G. We trust, is what my friends said. So, all right. Well, stepping away from that, hopefully y'all's teams did as good as Darth and I's, as we finally got a 1-1 record between the Packers and the Cowboys. But now we kind of jump into the game here. Let me bring up the game mode, because when the last time we spoke, and we had the big thing. I mean, I kind of want to make some funny videos in a sense. I'm a straight up comedian or anything like that, but just kind of like the inside of me, the introvert. I kind of want to show like the feeling that I got when it's patch day, like, and I get like, I do get kind of giggly, and bubbly inside. I'm like, all right, I'm all for it. And I know the sentiment is like, bug side and all that. But again, for me, it's just the game modes are coming out here. We're going to get ready for some new content. And that's where my excitement is in general. And of course, it kind of, I guess the question I have is just thinking back on the whole patch thing. Like, what's your personal take? I mean, I know there's been a lot of content creators, and we kind of watched it in the early parts of the week, and I saw the sentiment again where they're pissed off about the bugs and no responses from the devs and communications and all that. So, I mean, if I were to give you a scale from like 0 to 10 as far as frustration size, like, well, I mean, were you frustrated with the game at any point because of some of the hiccups that happened, or what's your feeling about the new patch?
Maybe a 3 or 4 on that scale. I think I'm disappointed more than anything else. Like, it's not like it pisses me off or I'm frustrated. Like, I'm disappointed that there's no Crucible this week.
Yeah.
I'm disappointed about that. Like, I wish that was here. I'm disappointed that Tower Mode's not in here to take its place. For last week, actually, that was a little bit of a disappointment. But I mean, it's not. I don't know. It's there seems to be a lot of up in arms about what I consider to be relatively small potatoes, and I don't. And the answer to that is maybe I don't know shit. So yeah, I should be up in arms, and I'm not. I'm not. I haven't been that frustrated with the game. I like the game. I've been enjoying it. It would be silly for me to play it as much as I do and not be enjoying it.
Yeah. No, and it's weird to ask you the question. It's more like layers. It's weird to give you like a direct question about like expectations. I mean, like on one side, it's like, what was your expectation? Do you think it was gonna go flawless? Probably not, as our experience has been, right? But I think what was strange about this in general, though, I mean, it did it feel to you like it had like a little bit more of the usual bugs or like something that kind of really threw I don't know. For me, it felt like it really threw off the game. And I guess the big one is I'm thinking it's like the find feature. Because I mean, like when we tried,
That was irritating.
yeah, it's just like now the quality of life that we're trying to get accustomed to or be a little bit better really went down as far as like being able to do your self management of the game. Because normally the bugs for me would have been more technical, like on the other side as far as like someone's ability not working or something going on within the gameplay itself. This was just seemed like a lot of things, like you said, like this whole Crucible side of things. I mean, the game mode didn't even come up yet. It's almost as if, again, as far as quality of it, on placement of leagues or scoring and all this kind of stuff. I mean, they came up on, was it Friday before the main blog post? I mean, they have a whole list of all this different things that are going on. And I mean, I mean, if we just were to hit this topic, it would take about an hour about going into all the little details. But I think the number one frustration you hit on right on the big is this one right here. This Cosmic Crucible not being able to play because to be competitive, to kind of go within a gameplay style of, resources and things like that, to kind of take a backseat and not be able to one on winning the resources within the Cosmic Crucible side of things, but then the competitiveness where we're kind of even, I think on our last show, we are talking about of what are we going to put on defenses and all that kind of stuff that we're kind of strategizing, getting excited about. It's I don't want to say it's all for naught, but it's delayed. We got to wait a week. So kind of took the whole point of my excitement about new patches and new content coming out just went out the window, particularly on this game mode. But the tower mode, as far as on that side of it, I don't think. Have you seen anything as far as news of when that may be released yet? Or I don't think I've seen anything yet. Have you heard any?
No, it'll probably fill the space between the War Scourge and the Famine Scourge.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
what I would. That's what I would suggest. There's going to be a week or so in between, so they'll probably run tower during that week.
Yeah. All right. Well, so with all that, so the patch was a miss. As far as just running with the content, but instead, what we have to be facing dealing with is going to be dealing with these milestones that are going on that are kind of carrying over and coming to conclusion this week. And kind of want to break down. I haven't spoken to you. We kind of do this on our again week to week basis here on Sundays. Well, what milestone are you at on this particular totally awesome?
Wait 1 second. Let me find it. My totally awesome milestone. I'm at 40,000 points, which puts me at 37.
Okay, so have you been using like up a hundred of your campaign energy, or did
A
you?
few hundreds, a few times. Like I haven't been shy about spending them, and I haven't been. I refreshed the stupid store too many times for the event store. So there was some extra core spending in that, or is that not for this one? No, that's the other one. I'm sorry. So this one has the alliance credits with it. So yes, I have been spending more of those, and the alliance credits. I've been donating 100 every day, and our alliance has actually been hitting the last box every day of the event.
Yeah, I just kind of went within my usual gameplay style, and I hadn't pushed aggressively. So that's why I was curious where you're at within the milestones, and I'm only got a day, 17 hours to catch up. But what's up, Taco? Taco Shooters on the chat.
What?
What's up, Taco?
Taco shooter? Are you kidding?
Yeah,
Wow.
man. Yeah, so I'm sure he's already completed with his milestones.
Oh, he's done.
So, but now we're still working on it. So those that are kind of tuning in, we are casual competitive. We're casual as far as like the alliance ain't gonna go using resources. We're kind of in that in between style here, and we're just kind of doing our little weekly rundown. Normally we do this in the morning, so we got the evening guys on here. Yeah, see, look, taco shooters. I'm far from complete. You probably completed this like
Dude,
on day
I had to
two.
get on and watch Twitch. Yeah, I'm excited. I mean, I watch Taco Shooter. Like that's a fucking awesome.
Yeah, same side. But anyway, so going back, so we got the totally awesome. So that's kind of where I'm at on that, and then jump into um, the raid of fortune. So on this one right here, obviously here we're at. So I'm on 9. This is kind of more like a team thing. I'm curious, should we be in the same area, or are you kind of going heavy on your power
This is
course?
where this is where my power cores are counting.
Okay.
So this is where my extra expenditure on the power cores are counting because I'm at milestone 13.
Okay. I wasn't. I'm not. Again, I'm not going that hard for it. The only thing that interests me are these level 4 ions. Of course, that's over here, milestone 19. But again, I mean, because me going out of town and stuff like that, I just, I haven't pushed hard on it. I did try to save as much of those raid credits that you kind of put in the mailbox. We were talking before we started coming on here onto the show. We are talking about how we're starting to become mailbox hoarders. But this one I started like late on it. And I think our guy Dell in our alliance was really recommending like save it, save it. And I couldn't find the news about it. I was like, what is he talking about? And I never really saw it until this thing popped up later, of course, that Friday, I think it was when this one came up, or Thursday. But anyways, so I didn't get a big jump on it, and I feel like I'm playing catch up as usual. But are you on 9? Is that what you said, or?
No, I'm on 13.
Oh, hell, see, I'm way behind.
You got the cores though. You could spin some fat cores before reset tonight, and then. Oh, actually, it's your reset already, huh? Yeah, your reset already happened, or it's
Yeah,
happening in
12.
15 minutes.
Well, in 15 minutes, yeah, my reset will jump in. All right.
Um, you could do that to spend some extra cores to try to catch up. It depends on how much you want to deplete your cores with the Spider Weaver event coming next Friday and stuff like that. I'd rather spend my 100 core refreshes on that event, I think.
Yeah. Gotcha. Okay. But the one thing that I was kind of looking in, the other thing that kind of started last week, the last time we spoke, was this store over here. Oh, I jumped on the roster, but it's a PhD. I can't, again, I'm coming back from a drive, and for the life of me, how I know on the web milestone we can collect these PhD diplomas, and there was some milestones that we were able to collect it on. I felt it was during blitzing, but is that it? I mean, like, is something going to come up where I can earn more of these, or do I have to rely on the web store?
You earn it for your energy. You earn it for your energy too. Every energy you spend gives you
There it is.
that currency.
Okay. I forgot about that when I'm farming. Yeah, it is over there. Okay. So that's where I can start collecting more of it, though. But what we're talking about, really, the store, we hadn't seen the contents, or we kind of had an idea what they're going to do. We knew they weren't going to put in brawn in this particular thing at all. Of course, it was as far as collecting character shards, but instead we got the 3 War Scourge, Node 5 and 10 teams of the Wave 1, Heroes, Guardians, and the Ravagers. But that's all I'm focusing as far as farming. My question for you, Darth, is just like, where are you trying to spend your diplomas on?
I would like to spend them on some Valkyrie and Mighty Thor shards. Mostly Valkyrie shards. I'm just a few shards away from 6-star, which would be nice. And then I'm spending them on that teal piece, that first teal piece there. If they're ones that I need for any of the horseman teams that I know of so far, because you need shitloads of those. Like if gamma radiation shows up there, I'm buying it.
Mm-hmm. But everything else, like
So,
here, like, do you even come down to start kind of creaking?
I did honestly. I did buy some catalyst parts out of there,
Like
some
this
health
one right here?
catalysts. Yep, the health catalyst because they're kind of cheap for the amount of energy I was spending, and for the price isn't bad. And that's how I got my Spider Weaver to 16. So
That's all I'm looking for too. I'm just looking at the Hero Asgards, the ones I need to farm up between the last two, the Mighty Thor and Valkyrie, and then this is the only thing I'm targeting. Occasionally, as I just did here, I do look for that one particular gold catalyst for the health. And that's it. I mean, I'm not buying anything else. I'm not refreshing the store. I probably, I don't know. I don't know. Have you even thought about refreshing it?
that's where a lot of my cores went. I was thinking I was going to get some Hero Asgardians that I might need or want to purchase with my little currency there. And so I was for the first 2 or 3 days that the store was on, I was refreshing it twice every 8 hours. So I was spending 300 cores a day just refreshing the store to get irritated. so I quit doing that.
Mhm.
I still haven't seen Valkyrie or Mighty Thor in there, either one of their shards ever.
That sucks. And yeah, I
And I
got
play.
it. I
I
seen
look.
them once
So,
each. I got them once each. I saw them, but
what did I buy? I did actually buy some T'Challa shards because I don't quite have him at 7-star yet, and he's an energy farm. So if I can quit spending energy on his node, I could spend it somewhere else and farm catalysts.
we're gonna segue into talking about what came into the blog post here. But I'm gonna start off with this infographic that the tandem here of the Brotherhood of the Storm, CPO Hicks, and Updog do as far as on their little event calendars. And I kind of like this. They kind of, again, they throw this out early. But we already got, the Saturday, Sunday events going on within the orbs on blitzing for Red Stars and Premium and the coordinated assault. Monday, this kind of reminded me I do have to get our beta team map all ready for our alliance. Make sure I got the right people where they need to be. And then that's the miss right there. Cosmic Crucible was still supposed to be rolled out on Monday, but that's going to be a no-go. But what I did, and just to kind of make sure I'm remembering what I read correctly, because I can't remember where I read this, but they said that this week is going to be a no-go, but they are going to reward us, right? Did you hear that?
What I heard is there's going to be no Crucible this week, and they're going to send us compensation. So we'll see how the compensation is. It doesn't really matter. The compensation is not worth missing the gameplay. I don't play this game for the rewards. I play it for the enjoyment I get out of the actual gameplay.
Yeah.
And Crucible is the most fun game mode for me.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so we're definitely missing out on that. And then of course there's the Zemo character Blitz that's gonna be rolling out tomorrow. And this is the big news, really, as far as what's coming out, and we'll break it down a little bit more in detail towards the end of our little show here. But that's a Red Hulk. Red Hulk is coming out on Tuesday. The one thing I did notice on the time frame is that this isn't going to be during like the server reset. This is going to be within that new time. So for me, Central Time here is going to be 4 p.m. For you, Darts, it's like around 2. So it's going to be around 2 p.m.
Damn, that means Tuesday at work at 2:00 they're going to be missing me. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. No, we're talking. The other voice on here is Darth. It's Darth Beaver, and that's the gentleman that's talking with me. But yeah, so that's a big one right there. But let's jump into. I want to kind of look into the actual blog post as we talk about the milestone events here. I'm glad that they're bringing back the victory blueprint, but what the biggest thing, and they put it in parentheses, is that this iteration is not going to be towards the monthly milestone event, which, I guess I don't know if that's something to be pissed off about or not. But I guess it is what it is. But I mean, it's mainly about bringing back that level 4 ions. So I'm happy to see this. I mean, this is kind of where I believe when you collect all the milestones, if you're able to get this completed, you can at least get another character all the way up to that ISO level 4. So
That's correct.
Yeah, this is a big deal as far as seeing that come back. Now, the other highlight besides Red Hulk being a new character coming out to the game on Tuesday and becoming unlocked, the other one is this lady over here, and that is going to be Spider Weaver. So she's rolling out on Friday. And of course, when she rolls out on here, she comes into 2 different in-game milestones. But within her feature unlock, it's all going to be about the campaign. She's a campaign release character. So it's funny with the timing of it. This is where all my course would be going towards, right? But I don't think that any of these milestones are power core related. From what I gather on here, well, I think there's one. There's going to be one that's ethereal arms.
The one you were just on up there said at the end of it, and spinning power cores.
Okay, yeah, I'm looking at my notes instead of the screen. Okay, yeah, so it's right here. So cool. So that one would give. So it's kind of a win-win situation then, right? But this one, I mean, have you got to test play her already? I know you got her unlocked, so.
No, I want to test her in arena, but the matches are so set in stone at this point right now that I just bang them out with the characters I already have. I've seen some videos from a couple guys where she's her passive is just crazy once she's charged, because then everybody's missing their shots. Morgan Le Fay's missing,
Mm-hmm.
Agatha's missing, like, so all of their big damage moves. I mean, it's pretty amazing actually. It's kind of scary to think about. I should use her, but I guess that's the coward in me. Just wants to keep ahead as much as I can. Don't like to try new things until it's already been proven that it's the only way to go.
Yeah. No, so
But I mean,
what?
she is, she's an Apocalypse unlock character, so she did go right to 16. There was no holding back. So
Exactly. And that's the main reason why I jumped in there, man. I got way, way out of my usual gameplay style. As far as like where I kind of just slow play them up, go within my daily allowances of that gold spender. And yeah, I said screw it, man. I wanted her all the way up. And I think my level of excitement on there was really to rush, and I teamed her up, and it was really towards the war side is why I did that. I'm going over here to the gameplay to try to find her so I can just kind of show or have her. I don't know why I can't. Oh, I know I can find her better. It's on this roster here. But are you using her on defense yet, or do you using her on offense, war offense? Like, where do you have
put
her
her on war.
placed?
Going to put her on war defense. That's the plan. Is to stick her with some spiders on war defense for right now. I don't know. She feels like an offensive tool. I mean, it'll work for now because it's new and the whole team's not out, and I'm not a theory crafter kind of guy. I mean, I do play, but if the whole team was out, I would play a lot of war matches in testing and see what I thought where it was going to work best at.
Hmm.
But since her team's not out yet, I think for now defense is the place to go. It's kind of like with my Gamma team. I've got them on defense right now too until Red Hulk's out. And the minute I get Red Hulk, they will be stripped from my defense.
Hmm. Yeah, so I currently put her as the fifth member of the Gamma team on defense, and I've been getting some nice wins. I think what's been she's been I've seen some battle cancels based on like Affinity Watch, but the only team that's been able to knock her out has been the Dark Code within that matchup. Um, and it's just interesting because it kind of went back to really, I just think it's that passive. I'd love to see it. And as I'm thinking about it, it's just that there was some other news that came out, which I didn't see on like the patch notes. But apparently, we would, or in the near future, should start seeing the replay of our defensive. I don't know. Did
Yeah,
you
that
see
came out
that?
for a minute. I saw. I think it was a Boylan video where he was showing the replays, and I was all excited, and then they immediately took it away.
So they did have it as a feature for like a little moment or so.
Yeah, for a couple hours during the war before last, I think.
Wow. Okay. Well, I missed up on that, or I didn't catch that, but I did see it on some type of news. I think that's probably MSF. I think they did one of their little Discord messages or something like that. But anyways, so yeah, I have her on defense, and as far as thinking onto Crucible sides, is she going to be as part of your defense there with the Spideys or offense?
For now, I've got her on defense on Crucible. I had her set up there um, for fun on the Web Warrior team, just to see what happened. Web Warrior team gets annihilated by Bionic Avengers, so I would like to see how that worked out with her in there. Um, so for defense for now, when the rest of the team comes out, when we get 2099 and Spider-Man Noir, my opinions will probably change because just kind of like War, I like to go offense heavy to make sure I can clear their rooms and then use what I have left for my defense.
Yeah. All right. That's the big one. So the second part, that's towards the end part of next week, is where you're gonna get your hands on Spider Weaver if you haven't unlocked her yet. She'll be on the campaign side of things of releasing, so tied into some milestone events here. So which is that Ethereal Arms and the Destined Connections, and then on the web milestone, you can spend your campaign energy, and there may be something on there as far as those rewards. So just make sure you keep that in mind. But that was it as far as, so over here they don't know if it's the Nowhere Heist is gonna be part of the Flash event or not. I didn't think I saw that. That was not on the blog post, but this is just on this infographic. So jumping back over to Red Hulk here for a moment. So this is on Tuesday. MSF GG they already have the mapping, and there's already been the data mines and stuff, and maybe on some other news. But I mean, it's all out there now as far as on the traits that we're going to be using. So we start off with the bio within the first two sections, going off with the Avengers, and then of course node 5 and 10 when you're in difficulty level 5 and up. It's going to be that 3-team tandem of the heroes as Guardians, Ravagers, Wave 1 Avengers, and so forth. But I wanted to kind of break it down within these screenshots here that someone made. I found this on some other Discord here on the MSF Vault. And I don't know if this is the full, I don't think this is the full bio, but I think the way they did this infographic is based on like primary teams or suggested teams. I mean, and that's kind of, I wanted to look at this with you, Darth, just to kind of just thinking. I mean, when we start off the first nodes, I mean, as far as like bio characters, are you kind of already thinking it's like Young Avengers, Web Warriors? That's just like the first mindset, right? As far as your teams that you're
gotta
going to
talk you gotta before you go in the first one, you gotta understand the Scourge as a whole. So you gotta know that you gotta use your Avengers on nodes 3 and 4. So I want to try to avoid using my Young Avengers, any of them on the first nodes.
Yeah. Oh, you're right.
So like,
and
I got to go into it like that.
Yeah, and I think because the point that you're talking about is why this team up here seems to be up on the top, right? Because once you unlock the Red Hulk at the bare minimum, just to kind of get him unlocked, you can throw him right within this team or right off the get-go. As far as, and I wonder, that'll be interesting right away. You get to start playing with them and see how they do. But yeah, to the point that you're making here, here's the Avengers, where you see the Young Avengers again, part of this whole mashup. I don't remember the number, but I think it's bigger than this, isn't it? I felt like there was about like 20 of this large Avenger trait, because you got the Secret Avengers, the Young Avengers, Bionic Avengers, which is this top team right here. And I forget what
Black
else, like
Widow,
the
which
Wave
aren't on
Ones and
there.
all that. Yeah.
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 But see, you don't, again, Wave 1, you want to
Save
avoid
it.
a little bit, probably. Just in case you don't know how it's going to go. Wave 1's probably going to be your weakest teams for nodes 5 and 10. So I don't see a problem with using like the Bionic Avengers. I would see a problem maybe with using Hulk. Because we've all got him built through the roof, which is also the problems with using the War Scourge team on nodes 1 and 2. You have to see how you do. You'd really like to have your Hulk at least semi-healthy when he's coming into nodes 5 and 10 for you.
And I really believe within my gut feeling, and everything that you're hitting to is like, you got to save it. You got to save it for 5 and 10. You kind of kept hitting on that. And you're absolutely right. But as you kind of click on here, I really believe it's going to come down to either node 1 or node 2, where you're going to start bringing in certain characters for cooldown aspects, or like I think that's going to be the theory that you're going to start seeing out here, especially when you get into the nodes 3 and 4 with those Avenger traits, that you're going to start
So necessarily, you don't really want to use your Secret Avengers on 3 and 4.
Yeah.
Because they're skill characters. They're your best skill characters, most likely.
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting as far as just the timing of when you're going to use them or save them or use it to finish off the node, like a 2-shot approach for, getting your abilities maxed up and ready for the later nodes. A little bit more little kind of theory play as far as on the setup that you personally figure out, within your team composition. But I really do believe this is going to be the one Scourge that just has so much different scenarios of how you can kind of really mash up the gameplay style as far as with these traits, with the different character traits. Go back to over here. So we kind of, the villain side, this is the one that's a little bit more kind of more cut and dry, right? Kind of to the points you're making. Got to be careful what you're using, which Avengers. Yeah.
Yeah, the villains will be easy.
Yeah.
The easiest section, because that's where you're going to use Dormammu and Morgan Le Fay. Like, you may as well use all of your, there's, look at the plethora of great characters you have to choose from there. It's cute that Kingpin made the cut. I've yet to play with him or build him up. But I mean, I get it. Like, he's pretty awesome now. I like that he's a pre-taunting tank now, basically. So, but yeah.
Did you? You brought up Kingpin. Did you catch that video yet that Dell shared?
I don't even want to. Like, it's like, that's gross. That means that my itty bitty team could beat up on a Web Warriors team.
Yeah,
and that's disgusting. Like, but I get it. It's Web Warriors is a raid team. Everybody's got them built big. They're not supposed to excel in war everywhere. They're supposed to excel in raids. So if they're not, if they lose, they're probably the next team to lose its place on my war defense. Actually,
Yeah, I wonder if I can. Yeah, I don't know how to blow it up, but yeah, it's Jamal. In case you're curious, there's a video out there by the Jamal723. I'll look to add it on the comments, like a link here on our YouTube video. But yeah, it was this underworld team that Kingpin and of course Taskmaster are part of, and they did a 700k punch up on the Web Warriors. It's insane, dude. But yeah, anyways, I'm just bringing it up because that's why Green Goblin's right there, part of the mix, man. Villains, yeah, they're the heavy hitters. Um, and there's that skill team. Kind of wrapping up the character team trades. So this is, I see there's Taskmaster right there, man. But they yeah, there's Secret Avengers up on the top. Save them later, and then there's your notes 5 and 10 teams right there. So what's funny in regards to us, looking on Tuesday and coming out, and you jokingly said that you'd be taking some time away from work to jump into it. I don't know how serious you are about that, but I know that in the past, when the Scourge came out, you're like one of the first ones out there finishing and completing. I mean, is that kind of the tone that you feel? It's just, are you gonna go that hard during work, or are you gonna?
work I probably can't. It's been nice for me before because it's launched at 5 o'clock in the evening, which is before dinner time, and I've been home for almost an hour. So I've taken care of my kids for the most part, hugged my wife, done some dad duties, and can say, "Look, Daddy was at work all day. Give me 30 minutes and let me sit here and hammer this out real quick because it's fun. This is fun for Dad." I don't. My PlayStation has 2 inches of dust on it. I haven't touched it in over a year. So like they understand. Like they give me lots of leeway for things like that. But my boss is a little different.
To say the least,
so
right? Yeah.
so that probably will not be a thing. But either way, I'm gonna do what I always do. I'll run through it on probably difficulty 7, so that it's a little bit of fun. Uh, and then I'll come back and try 8 with some scourges because they're doing it different this time.
Oh yeah, that's the
Like
one thing
the
I
scoring's
forgot.
working out different, so the difficulty will remain the same through 8, 9, and 10, but the scourges will get more difficult and give you more points that you choose to put on.
Hmm.
I think is how I understood that.
Yeah, that's the last part. So jumping back and wrapping up this whole blog post here. I mean, they really broke it down. I mean, the first part of the whole blog post is about the War Horsemen here, and it's talking about unlocking Red Hulk. But what Darts is just alluding to is that there are right here is this last paragraph where it says the Scourge event will see an update with 12 Scourges being removed and 13 being added compared to the famine. And so then they break it down, and these are the ones that you're removing. So, and these are the new ones coming into it. Now it's twofold. So it's like first part is talking about that switch right there with the 13 new ones replacing 12. And I'm not going to read all into it. But then the second part of it is really within the scoring point update system here, which is interesting. Um, Paraphrasing or just summarizing, at least what I took off of it is that in the past, you can get up to the difficulties 8, 9, or 10 and not add any scourges and still score more points than those that are adding scourges. And that what they're doing now is that, like, now within the system, is I'm trying to see how it reads it, but basically that they are putting like more emphasis on the scourge points. Basically, like they're gonna put emphasis that if you're going into the higher difficulties and adding the scourges, it's almost like there's some multiplier or something there that's going to go ahead and reward you for that. Because in the past, again, those were doing like, say, difficulty 7 with 20 scourges or something outrageous, we're still getting like lower scourges and those going into difficulty 8 or 9 with nothing. So they're revamping that scoring there. But I think that's all I have is on information sides within the coming week here. Anything that you wanted to add or that I missed out, Darth?
That I can think of.
So Yeah, I'm gonna wrap up the show in regards to recording it here. So just again, yeah, everything to be excited about. My whole emphasis again is that, within the patch, I know there was hiccups and stuff, but this is the part that the internal side of me that was getting all excited and bubbly is that, hey, here's the new content. As far as now we got Red Hulk coming into the gameplay. Um, there was something I just saw here, and I wanted to add this to the show before I kind of cut off on here, but they were talking about like the dark promos, and and basically there was something that I'm in a personal situation that I'm right on the fringe of getting 3500 dark promos to get like level up my rogue into the 5 or 6 star. I think it's 6 star for that 35 if I remember. Basically, I'm not gonna do it. I think that I've been playing with Rogue enough that I realized that she's okay where she's at. I don't see her. I mean, she does have high damage, but I feel that I'd rather use this particular dark promo on Red Hulk. So I'm just kind of throwing on there as like not so much as a teaser, but just someone that's kind of in that same situation as me that have enough dark promos to go ahead and it becomes that ultimate decision, right? That you're going to start hearing later. It's like, hey, what do you use your dark promo on? Are you going to put the 6-1 on your Rogue, your Famine, or on Red Hulk? And then to me, my personal preference of order is still putting Morgan Le Fay as number one. I mean, if obviously at this point, with there being like 2 or 3 runs of her, majority of people should have her like around 6 star or, somewhere high in which they would definitely want to use her first. But even if you had Red Hulk across the board and Rogue across the board with the 6 gold, and you're on that dilemma where to use my dark promo, I would definitely, my recommendation is just gonna be a Red Hulk. He just seems more beast. I think it's gonna affect him a lot better than it will be with Rogue. So I don't know. Would you disagree with my take on that, Darth, or what do you think?
That's hard. I'm still super happy with spending all that dark promo on Morgan Le Fay and getting her to 7 red. Like I'm very very happy with that. I believe it's netted me more cores than the dark promos are worth since I did it. Just
Mm-hmm.
literally easily staying in top 20 and things like that.
Yeah, so Morgan Le Fay, definitely. I still think she's number one over Red Hulk, if I missaid that.
Yeah,
I'm putting
but
Rogue
yeah, I
at number
will.
3. Yeah, I think
Yeah,
it's Morgan Le Fay. I would put Red Hulk without even playing with him, just looking at stats and just things in general. I think he's going to be number 2. And then 3, I would put Rogue in that order. All right, but that's it for the show. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Definitely just stay tuned. We probably are leaning towards trying to get second videos onto the channel there for you, especially Cosmic Crucible. So I think that's the sad part that we have is that we're not going to be able to do that this week. But stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for another episode of Damage Control next Sunday. And enjoy the rest of your week. Bye bye.